Hey Periscopers, hope that's a little better. I've been having some issues with my connection on here. I'm Dr. George Kosmides, chiropractor and functional medicine doc and teacher of my latest book, Life Without Diabetes, to doctors here in the state of California. Hey Kit, hey Eddie, and nationwide virtually. Hey Donna Black, thanks for tweeting me out. If you guys want to tap on the screen there, show me hearts in replay mode and live mode, I appreciate it. Sliding up the screen, you can actually share it with others as Donna just did. Thank you so much, Donna. I got your message and I'm working on the video, but the last few days have been pretty hectic. Is this your book on Amazon? Yes, this is my book on Amazon. You can get this, the companion manual, which talks about the business side of diabetes, and the printed or ebook copy. So yeah, I lost my father and two uncles to the side effects at 50, 55, 56, and 31. That's what prompted me to get into diabetes, and chiropractic saved my life at 19, and my uncle was an orthopedic surgeon. So, you know, I understand both sides, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm not the business of diabetes. That's correct. Yeah, it's a companion manual, and I just lay out the facts of the monetary aspects and just the business aspect of it. Yeah, I'm borderline. The thing is, you don't have to be. Understand that being a type 2 diabetic, you've become unhealthy first, and being a full-blown type 2 diabetic, it's a choice that you're making. Unfortunately, most type 2 diabetics don't have the tools they need. How often should people get a full run-up? I'm 44. It depends. If you're borderline, so I'll give you an example. If you do your 3-month average, your A1C, and then you do C-reactive protein, and those are both borderline, they're on the cusp of whatever the results are, I would go back in 2 months, 3 months max and have them repeated. Because the A1C combined with the C-reactive protein will distinguish between a type 1 and a type 2. Take on Martin Shkreli. I'm not sure. Lately I haven't really watched any TV because I've been working so much. I'm also a single dad right now. My wife is in Hawaii. So, hey, Nanny Louise. We're still together, but she's just doing her art thing over there. So, I'm a dad and mom. Hey, so all you parents out there that are single, my hat goes off to you. Glucose always normal, but high A1C. Well, you want to keep your A1C under 6. Yes, I am. You want to keep your A1C under 6, and I've had patients with A1Cs over 21 and blood sugar over, I think the highest I had was 817, 6.5. Yeah, you want to get that below. And understand, the reason that a doctor of chiropractic can teach this information is I'm not teaching treating diabetes. That's pretty much of a failure. It's going up about 7%. Yeah, I know. It's going up about 7% per year. The focus is on the person who has it. What can they do? And in just about every case that I'm aware of, they've become unhealthy first. Yeah, don't put your number that it's going to disappear in like 10 seconds. Sorry, I'm not that good. Go to my profile and email me there. My email address is in my profile. That's where I'm going end of April, Hawaii. Yeah, my wife was born and raised there, so we lived there for a few years. It's a great place. But now I'm back working. I got a great office. I have a great staff that I work with here. And, Dr. Dave, Eddie, and Tyler, they're all great. So I'm pretty happy. But, yeah, that's what got me into this work. And fast food is a big problem for me. Yeah, well, you have to say, okay, it's a problem, and then what are you going to do about it? Yeah, don't put your phone number there. You must be new, Nathaniel. There's no way there's no way I can keep it. I appreciate you reaching out to me like that, but yeah, you'd have to call me and just go through my email and just send me what you're, what you're needing. Should everyone go to a chiropractor, and why? Good question. With me, Eddie, it saved my life because after my accident, my uncle was an orthopedic surgeon, said I'll be fine. But after about a month, great, Solomon, I began to lose my bowel and bladder function. So I reluctantly went, and after 3 adjustments, I got my bowel and bladder function back. I was 19, so it just blew me away because it wasn't what I expected. But yeah, I think everyone should get checked. The aspect of chiropractic is restoring normal biomechanics, which is going to enhance our immune system. So, Parlez en Francis, I don't speak it, but that looks really nice. Thanks for coming on from France. But yeah, I'm biased, but understand that wasn't I was raised medically. My uncle was an orthopedist. I've got a podiatrist in my family. And again, nothing good or bad. It's just, what are we trying to accomplish? I want to retain more motion in my body. I didn't want to have my neck and my low back fused. So I got consistent care, and now over 30 years later, I'm actually practicing it. It's like getting a tune-up on your body. Yeah, I would agree with that. You don't know, we see so many new patients at this office. I probably see 20, 30 new patients a week. Most of them, I've never seen a chiropractor, and you see this glow come over their face after they get their first adjustment. It's just, it's inspiring to me. Thank you. Added my email. Thank you so much. Menza Muza. So I try to answer questions. My goal is not to give you advice so you don't follow your primary. My goal is to give you information so when you see your primary, you can communicate more effectively. When you're researching your problem, you can be more, how can I say this, open-minded, but at the same time being reasonable and rational. And that's what I want to be known for on Periscope. Dr. George gives reasonable information. So whether you're a drug advocate, whatever your scope or your framework is, you can say, oh, that seems reasonable to me. And that's my whole goal here, is to help you folks. I lost my father at a young age because he thought, since his numbers were managed synthetically, that everything was fine, but he wasn't healthy. So that's just what moves me. I'm sure there's something that moves you folks out there. And again, I've got a couple hundred at catch.me. You can get my old scopes, and I've tried to label them what I've talked about. Pretty important stuff. How should I go about decreasing my caffeine intake? Good question. If you're doing 2 cups a day, 5 days a week, you're probably hovering around 4.5 to 5 gallons per year. So I want you to look at it in bigger terms. Never ever, and I've had people who are drinking a quart of gin a day. Really, you never want them to cut cold turkey. Hey, Olivo. And with coffee, I would just half it. If you're at 2 cups a day, go to 1. Maybe a week, then go to a half. Because what will happen is, if you drop it quickly, you'll get massive headaches. Those are adrenal headaches, and it's not worth it. And then, phase in a yerba mate or something like that. Is it better than coffee? What is yerba mate? Yeah, it is. Well, it's better if that's what you're asking. Tea, yeah, yerba mate is a non-alkaloid based stimulant. It appears to have more positive effects on the liver than coffee. Coffee also appears to disrupt protein intake, so don't drink it when you eat. I love espresso. I love it so much that I had to get rid of my espresso machine because I was drinking 6 to 8 shots, 7 shots average per day, and I started getting adrenal exhaustion, so I got rid of it. So I'm an addictive personality. I can't have cakes, cookies in my house. I don't do well with that. Best way to curb sugar cravings. If you really crave sugar, and it's usually a candida yeast problem, I want you to get a book. It's by Dr. Cook. I think it was him and his wife who wrote it, called The Yeast Connection. It's been out for over a decade. It's a paperback book. Get it on Amazon. And he gives some really good tools, but mainly is the yeast craves simple sugars, and it will almost force you to eat that, to feed them. Probiotics are a good way to go about it, a good prebiotic. The company that you want to go to for a good probiotic is called Flora, F-O-R-A. They've been around forever. What would be the best way to cleanse your liver? I actually have a 6-day cleanse in my program I'm putting together now. But there needs to be a vegan prep for it. But you want to be reasonable. Direct message me, and I'll get you that 6 days. Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. Yeah, I actually took that and modified it from Dr. Max Gerson's work. What do you believe is too much caffeine? I'm a shift worker and I need... Yeah, no, I totally get it. What I take is this product, E9. And again, I only promote about 6 products because I use them daily. This product will get your mind focused without that jittery effect of caffeine. I've done both. I really like this product. This is another Synergy product. I am a distributor for them. It's the only company I'm a distributor for because I flew up there and actually toured the facility and met with Dr. Tripp. So this one works. I use it. Yeah, it works. And again, it's a more of a brain issue. So these people that are up there, Synergy and Dr. Tripp, they know what's happening. And believe me, I've been around this business for like 30 years, 20 years as a licensed physician. So I wouldn't say I know it all, but I know a good product from one that's just a lot of hype. And unfortunately, it's pretty natural ingredients. Inulin, the stimulant, interestingly enough, and the key is, white willow bark, which is natural salicylic acid, but the key is the L-arginine. So they even put the L-arginine in the E9. It's a brain food. I mean, this is my coffee in the morning. I'll splash it up and just shoot it right down. I think it was Dr. Z asked me for a good fat metabolizer. between that and Perarginine 9 Plus, I mean, I can't find a better one on the market. And again, I've been at this game for a really, really long time. You know, I was fat at 15 and I almost lost my life at 19. What is it again? It's here, take a screenshot of this. Push your big button and your side button. Take a screenshot of that. Can you hold it up so I can? Sure. Try to buy it in bulk because you will be buying it afterwards anyway. Yeah, see? Salmon's on my Lean Body 360 program. So I only promote a few products, guys. This is one of them. And the other one is this one. So this is the nighttime. Great. This one actually helps your body release growth hormone. We've all seen, you know, now it's changing, but in my day, 18 or 19-year-olds, we had abs, we had obliques, all this. Well, major reason was because of growth hormone was being dumped out by literally by the gram. Now as we mature, our body secretes less growth hormone. This product actually helps us release it and improve the uptake. So anti-aging, lean body mass, key. Hey, Millionaire Motivator. For the brain, this stuff is tops. And again, I'm only an affiliate and distributor for one health product. That's it. Thanks, Donna. And you can go to the leanbody360.com and there's a place where you can get free information. Click on that. All I'm asking for is your email. I won't spam you, but about every 6 days or a week or so, you'll get some pretty cool stuff in your email inbox. Just things to get you thinking that you don't have to be extreme. Extreme measures do not work. And I used to get a lot of flack, not too much anymore, but I used to get a lot of flack about boot camps and, you know, extreme weekend workouts. Thought on people who don't sleep much, will it catch up? Absolutely, it'll catch up to you. Are you comfortable with anal? See, that's another bot. I don't know. Are you? And again, for you new people on Periscope, you'll get people that come in your scope and are totally inappropriate. Just water off a cat's back. It's not personal. What supplements would you suggest for kids who play sports young as 10 years old? Food supplements. There's a company called Alive, Livia, and then Standard Process makes a good, something called a chewable Catalin for kids. My daughter loves it. Concerns for diabetic. No simple sugars 3 hours before bed. And really understand what a high load carbohydrate is. Doc, got me thinking to stop drinking soda 7 months so far. Excellent. You know, you can't buy health, man. I still don't get the emails and site has been down since a week. Come to the Facebook page, Samantha. Yeah, we're going to a total different platform. You should be getting something within a few days. But you should be getting emails. Remember, the same email that you join with is the same email that's in the system. So just let me know. Send me a message inside the Facebook group, and I'll take care of it. We just got kind of overwhelmed. And as for those of you that don't know, Andrew is no longer with Lean Body 360. He went on to other things, which is fine. And we're just moving along. It's going great. So go to the Facebook group. That's where all the information is kind of nestling now. Did that help you with the coffee and the? I know I'm getting a few diabetic questions on here as well. Just again, go back through some past scopes. I kind of broke things down and yeah, but you know what to do. Well, I'm not. I've been with you for almost a month now. Okay, you should be in the Facebook group too. If you're not, and you know, there's only several dozen people in there. Name of the Facebook group is Lean Body 360, but it's a closed group. You have to be a member of the group to get in. What are the symptoms for the diabetes? Excellent question. They could be asymptomatic. You could have no symptoms whatsoever, but normally you'll be excessive thirst, excessive urination, sores that won't heal. You're welcome. You begin to get peripheral vision loss. You know, the symptoms could be peripheral neuropathy. You could lose the feeling of your hands and fingers. You'll see people who have extreme tendencies to have burns on their hand that don't even feel them. So, and then there's people that have, the gentleman that I had in my office in Hawaii with blood sugar over 817, the only symptom that he had was he blacked out a couple times a day for like 2-3 minutes. That's extreme, but that was his symptom. So you could have absolutely none. Just really avoid high glycemic load foods. Get my, go to my Lean Body 360 page. Go on that link that says get free information and it will help you. Wow. Oh, you're so welcome. So remember, the first thing is to become mindful of what you're doing that's not getting you towards your goal, whether it's your body or your business. And then once you're mindful, then you can begin to bring in people or bring in tools to help you, get past those blocks. We all need coaches. I have I have 3 coaches right now: a business coach, a emotional coach. That's right, because emotions play a huge role. Hey, Afa, thanks for tweeting out my scope. It's okay to never have anal sex in your life. Like, will your body be okay? Interesting question. That's certainly a personal choice, and that's something you need to ask Dr. Z. She's usually on a little bit later than me. How much should an 18-year-old lift? That's a total arbitrary question. That's like saying how much should an 18-year-old eat? I would definitely not put a bar on my back. I would definitely not do things where you need a spotter or assistance, because if that person blinks or looks away, you could get hurt, and that injury will last you for your life. So I wish I could take back a lot of the physical things that I did. Unfortunately, in high school and college, I really didn't have good athletic coaches, in my opinion. Burning dry lips after eating something indicates usually an irritation somehow or somewhere in the digestive tract. Thoughts on insanity? I didn't get all that. Hey, Garrett, thanks for joining. Dave DeCap, 26, thanks for joining. Just answering some questions the best I can. And again, I'm not here to replace your medical doctor. I'm not here to steer you away from going to your primary, whether it's a DO, a DC, or an MD. I'm here to just get you to think a little bit. Super doctor, I have a problem. Well, I don't know about super, but shoot. Thoughts on the 90? I think it's too traumatic. That's why if you look at the PX90, you'll never see anyone in their 40s or 50s doing it consistently. If you will, they're few and far between. Remember, exercise is a form of controlled trauma. You're traumatizing your body to create, improvement, and you have to be mindful of that. My urine is black. That's not good. Go to the doctor ASAP. Are herbal supplements safe? Herbs work the same as acupuncture. It's all working on electrical frequencies. So when you think of needles in your body for acupuncture, herbs are on the same pathways. That's the best way to think of it. So acupuncture is electrical. Nutrition is the gas in your tank. Think of it really in simple terms. Depends on what you're trying to take it for. Now, when I spent time in Asia, one thing I learned that I still practice to this day is Chinese herbalists, classically trained, from my knowledge, do not give herbs singularly. They'll usually use a combination. That's why I either use the company Yogi Teas or Herbal Medicinals, because they have combinations, not single herbs. Can I have your opinion on marijuana butters for body aches? I don't know much about marijuana. I've read a couple of research papers, but I'm definitely not an authority on it. But more and more states are legalizing it. I think it should be controlled, and I think it should be regulated, so you know what you're getting, and there's different strains and so forth. What is the take on diet balance, vegetables, proteins, carbs, etc.? 3 to 1. 3 parts vegetables, 1 part protein, but you want to make sure that you eat your lean body mass and protein every day. There's a specific calculation for that. Okay, where can I get some? Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't get it by itself. What is the best tea or herb for acne? I think Yogi has one that's called Skin Detox. You just got blocked because you're being silly. Yeah, it's called Skin Detox. It's pretty good. My wife takes it. So she had really bad cystic acne when I met her, but it was a liver problem. What are you? I'm a doctor of chiropractic, and I teach continuing education on diabetes, not the treatment of it, but the support of the person. So anytime there's a chronic illness involved, 99% of the time the person was unhealthy first. Can too many minerals cause ED? I wouldn't blame minerals. There's other things going on, or lack of. Remember, sexual performance is a side effect of being healthy. Excellent. Yeah, so, type 2 diabetes, fibromyalgia, Crohn's disease, I would lump all those in. The person was unhealthy first. Rarely is it purely a genetic disorder. How often should a person do a cleanse? That depends. Every Sunday, I didn't do it today, but usually 1 day a week, I'll spend 4 or 5 hours and just drink fresh juice. No, I'm not. I'm half Greek and half German. See, when you say things like that, my friend, you just get blocked because that's just silly. What do you know about the new black water they sell in stores? I don't know anything about it. Diabetic book for new. Yeah, my book. I think this is probably one of the best books on the market. Not because it's mine, because it's an easy read. I didn't go to medical school. I went to UNLV and then I went to chiropractic college. So about 7 years. If you're going to be executed unless you have, I didn't get that. Daddy, where do you use Periscope? I didn't get that either. Are you a diabetic? No, but my father was and my 2 uncles. They both died at 50. My father died at 56. My uncle Steve at 55. My uncle John at 31. Have you ever had a patient you couldn't help? I'm sure I have. Conflict. I won't block that. Is masturbation bad? That's something you can ask Dr. Z. Yeah, you every day may seem a bit excessive, but again, that's not my field of expertise. There's linking some of that with some emotional issues, but again, that's not my. Yeah, a lot of trolls on here. Yeah, we'll start blocking them. If you were to be exceeded or have, yeah, see now you get blocked. That's just silly. What's the relevance of that question? I love girls. Am I gay? I don't know. Are you gay? That's something you have to ask yourself. And if you are, so what? Take on red meat intake. I had some tonight. I have greens with it, and I eat it how I feel. I eat greens how I feel. So if I'm exercising a lot, I tend to eat red meat more, and I eat it super rare. Is going to medical school or residency worth it? You know, this chiropractic saved my life. I was scheduled for low back and neck surgery at 19 years of age. They said I would never walk properly again. You know, after chiropractic care, I went on to deadlift 500 pounds. I went on to do all these things that they said I couldn't do. Okay? So, is my spine cured? Absolutely not. I just had a manipulation of anesthesia in November. I'm going to have another one with the stem cells in my right hip because of all the damage that I did, not just the auto accident, but all the dopey stuff I did in college and in high school. I heard it's bad to eat raw eggs. Yeah, it is bad to eat raw eggs. No. Yeah, the problem with raw eggs is the eggs are one of the only proteins that improve with heat. Plus, if you eat them raw, it actually extracts biotin from the body to process them. So biotin, think of biotin as the cement that binds our cells together. Yeah, salmonella could be a problem as well, but yeah, just from a nutritional standpoint, eggs are one of the only proteins that benefits from heat. And you can look this up online. Look up something called the government's biological value. It's called a BV. And they rate proteins by their ability to be absorbed based on mother's milk. So it's real important that you cook your eggs. Any other doctors on Periscope you recommend following? Well, there's Dr. Z. She's a doctor on sex, a legitimate doctor, and she speaks rationally. But understand that I would call her scope probably R-rated, but she tells it like it is. And there's Dr. Bariatric surgeon. That's pretty good. But just look, you could tell in about 10 minutes if they're your cup of tea or not. I try to be very simple. I'm not trying to impress anyone. Yeah. I'm trying to give you guys, get your brain turning. My nerdy acupunk. I'm not quite following that phrase, but it sounds kind of cool. Dr. Lem Ale. Don't know him. What's her name? Dr. Z, as in zebra. Yeah, she's. I think she has either a master's or a PhD in sexology or sex psychology. So I've been on a couple of her scopes. It can get a little bit carried away on that end, but you know, I like her directness. It's better to drink distilled water or purified. Distilled water will actually explode the cell because the osmolality will pull fluid out of the cell. So if you do it short term. I would just drink a nice, clean, purified water. Massage therapy is phenomenal. I try to get one at least twice a month, if not more. And we have really good ones at my office. And there's a Thai massage down. So yeah, I absolutely. I mean, come on. When's the last time you had a bad massage? But just make sure that's what you're going for. You know, if you want to go to get a massage, you know, go there to get a proper massage, and that's what you'll get. What kind of? I'm a doctor of chiropractic. Crack that egg, Safu. Get a face in there. A good way to cope with stress. Try to eliminate it or try to find the source of it, and deal with it. What week is the liver detoxing? I think it's week 7 or 8. Double check that. I'm putting it in an all new platform, and the reason why I backed it out that much, Donna, is to give you guys a chance to get healthy first, because it's you know, when you pass a lot of stones and waste, it can be kind of depleting. Is it week 6? Okay, thank you. Week 6. How long did you go to school? I went to chiropractic college for 3.5 years and did a year residency, and then UNLV for 4. So whatever that is. Where do you practice? In Redondo Beach, California. Yeah, I'm there. I'm in the office physically there 12 hours a day, 3 days a week. Well, 2.5 days a week. Is the liver cleanse the vegan diet and apple juice one? No. The liver, it's the one with Hippocratic soup. Are you in the program? I don't know, but it's a premise based on Dr. Max Gerson. If you guys have ever heard of Max Gerson, he was a medical doctor in I think the 40s. His wife or sister still runs his clinic, I believe, here in California, the Gerson Clinic. So he had a liver flush there that I looked at years ago, and I modified it with a couple of others. So now it's just 6 days. But the idea is that on the 6th day, you begin to see bile and old stones come out in a gentle, reasonable way. You're not be doing anything extreme. You're not super fasting. You're just modifying your intake a little bit. Thoughts on colonics? If you need one, they could be, they could really, I've really seen them do some good. But I've actually seen a couple patients get addicted to coffee colonics. Actually get addicted where they would go into withdrawals if they didn't get one. And one person I knew was doing them like every day. That's a little excessive because the mucus lining isn't designed, in my opinion, to have it flush like that consistently, because you're putting fluid back against the normal processes. But in some people, I've seen them make huge differences. Random question, favorite sport? Favorite sport, I would have to say a triathlon. From a pure athletic standpoint, the Ironman. I'm very impressed by those people, and I've had several of them that were patients of mine. All that running and biking and being able to swim too, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I also like auto racing. Le Mans is pretty good. So I'm 16. I have had a back cramp every once in a while when I stood up. Any thoughts? Go to a chiropractor at that age and let them, get a couple x-rays, tell them what your pain is, and just get analyzed and see what's cooking back there. There could be so many things causing it. And if it's something minor and you get it corrected when you're young, it could pay big dividends later on. Thoughts on concussions in sports? It's a problem. There was just a big to-do about football getting concussions. So, if I had a son, I would steer him away from it. Can you please tell us more about what chiropractic deals with? Well, chiropractic deals with improving the mechanics of the spine, not fixing broken bones. We're totally away from, that's totally opposite of what we do. By giving adjustments to the spine, you do a few things. You reinstate or normal motion in the motor units, the two vertebral bodies and the disc. But you also, there was a huge study done, the Perot study back in the 70s, where actually people who got chiropractic care consistently had a better immune response. Their T cell production was up like 200%. I mean, phenomenal stuff. What should help me if I don't sleep for more than 2 nights? Yeah, that's not good. You can try something like melatonin, which is a precursor to serotonin. I would take 6 milligrams a night. Give it a try. You can get it over the counter. What are some good workouts to increase size of the bicep? Cable curls are pretty good, but do them really slow. Is my herpes incurable? The problem with herpes is it's the virus, and it lives on the basal root ganglia in the bottom of the spine. So there's drugs out there that will kill it, but the problem is they'll also destroy the nerves as well. So the key is the healthier you are, they appear to have less of an outbreak, and you're contagious when you have an outbreak. So be mindful to your loved ones, and don't let them touch that or touch a spoon, because then it's contagious. You look great, Doc. Can I ask how old you are? I'm 52. What workouts do you recommend for at home, no weights? I have a band. I do stretching, and I have a chin-up bar in my door. I do some Iyengar yoga poses, which are long stretching poses. I'll put that, I'm putting together a program for exercise, and I'm going to put one specifically together for what you can do at home. Not some 50-minute jumping around type of a workout. It's not going to happen. How many pull-ups do you do? I don't do numbers. I do time. So that's a whole different concept. The muscle spindles don't care about how many. They care about how long and how much weight. How long do I hold it? How long? They don't care about reps. How do I tell my mom I got herpes? Go in and tell her. Say, Mom, I've got a problem. And herpes will be either a red bubbly, or if it's in your private area, go get it checked out. Don't guess. It could be something else entirely. Time under tension training. Yeah, but it's a little bit different than that. I'm a doctor of chiropractic. A little bit different than that. What can help my tailbone pain from having three LPs? What's an LP? Sorry, I'm not good with acronym because I'm getting so many questions. I'm a doctor of chiropractic. I also teach continuing education to doctors on diabetes nationwide. Locally here, face-to-face, but I'm also online. They can take my course online. A lumbar puncture. Oh, boy, that's pretty invasive. Yeah, Sam, if you're having problems, go see your neurologist or your orthopedist or whoever did and let them know what's happening. I love you guys. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts on obesity? You need to quell it. Women especially, when you guys get your body fat over 30%, your risk for ovarian and breast cancer goes through the roof. When you get over 40%, I think I saw some numbers that it's like 30 to 50 times normal numbers. So body fat plays a key role. We're seeing now in a lot of things, especially women's ovarian and breast cancers. Any advice for a recent graduate? Graduate of what? Get a mentor. He broke his hip last week, not in the office. I didn't know who that was. Thank you. Well, I've had some very good mentors, and I still have mentors. The key is never stop learning, never stop. Once you think that you know everything, then I think you know nothing. For Brain Plus IQ, I know I've seen the app. I've never used it, though. Yeah. Sam, call up your neurologist's office and let them know, hey, you're having back pain. What's happening, especially if it's weakening or you see a swollen or a sore to the touch. I know my wife had an epidural and she was probably sore for like 2 or 3 weeks, but that should subside. So definitely, go get it checked. She was in such pain after 2 days with my daughter. She had an epidural, no problem. Pain is a good motivator. Easiest way to measure, get a bioimpedance scale. I think yoga is phenomenal. I like Iyengar yoga. It's a long stretch yoga where you hold stretch positions in a longer time. Muscle spindles, as they get damaged, shrink, and it takes about 4.5 minutes for them to unlock, according to research. Good stuff, Doc. Got to run. Hey, thanks, Eddie. Thanks for joining. Did you get a chance to look into the labdoor.com? I haven't yet, Salman. Sorry. Can Ed be from Kidney? How did you choose what mentor to have? Hey, David. How did I choose what mentor to have? That's a good question. I think my mentor chose me. There's an old saying, I think it's a Hindu saying that says when the student is ready, the doctor appears or the teacher appears. So I was ready at certain times in my life, and Vincent Ladd, Deepak Chopra's place, Ayurvedic Center, he was one of my early mentors. Oh boy, so many I've had. What do you think of P90 yoga? I don't know much about P90 yoga. I don't like things that are jumpy. Muscles only care about load and time. They don't care about how many reps. That's a throwback. Where did you go for undergrad? UNLV I went. Bama Hunt, thanks for joining. You guys are asking great questions. Find someone, whatever field you're in, engineering or business, that has, an energy that you like. I don't want to get, mystical on you folks, but, you have to have a good feeling about someone. It's part of the 90X program. Yeah, I just don't like, again, pounding or jumping. When every time you leave your feet and you pound, that translates up to the spine and the brain and on your joints. The only time you should be leaving your feet, in my opinion, is on soft sand. Can ED be from kidney stones? Seriously? When you have unhealthiness happening, erectile dysfunction or lack of libido is a side effect. Remember, sexual function is a side effect, in my opinion, of being healthy. If you're not healthy, one of the first things to go is going to be your appetite for sexual desire, because your body's like saying, hey, look, that is it's an extra. Kind of like your hair and your nails. They're a side effect of being healthy in most cases. There are always exceptions, obviously, but in most cases, it's not true. So if you're having sexual dysfunction or chronic fatigue or some other things, your health has been, going downhill for months, if not years, and now your body is saying, hey, enough is enough. So good questions, though. Thoughts on cardio workouts only? Well, the way I resistance train, I build my cardio into my resistance train. And the way that you know you're doing cardio is if you're keeping your breath. And you can check your heart rate by your carotid. And you want to stay between 120 to 135. You're in aerobic range. But you can use your breath. So you can resistance train and still do cardio. I may warm up on a bike for 15 or 20 minutes just to warm up. But I'm not doing it for cardio. I'm doing it to warm up my joints. Hey, SA Tech, thanks for joining. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for your shares. I'm Dr. George Kosmides, chiropractor and continuing education instructor. I've written 4 books. My latest one is Life Without Diabetes. I lost my father to this side effects of this at 56. My 2 uncles at 55 and 31. I take exception to the fact that we wait for symptoms to move us before we act. And that's why I do what I do. Yeah. We only have one father and one mother, so next time you look at them, realize that one day they will be gone, and you have to decide now, just to love them. I didn't have the best relationship with my father, but he was old school. He would be the kind of dad that would wake you up on a Sunday and tell you to go to school. And if you told him it was closed, he would say, go there and just sit outside, and maybe you could learn something. Yeah, that's the kind of dad I had, old school. So I miss him, yeah. What made you turn to Periscope to educate people further? No, Joanne Pham said, why don't you try Periscope? And I did it. After a few months, I got some people who were sending me some emails that were just, I changed their life. I did this. And I'm like, holy smokes. I mean, when you look at things at the end of your life, they're not going to, when you're up and whoever your maker is, or if you believe in that or whatever, I don't think we go to our grave saying, how much money did I make? How many houses did I have? I think it's, how many people did I help, either financially or with their health? Because when you can help someone in a health way, you don't only help them, you help their whole family. So that's the way I'm looking at things. I mean, obviously you need money to survive and business. I totally get that. But in the end of things, I don't think that's, I really find your scope self. Thank you. There's actually I can't remember his name now. He was one of the richest men in the world at the time, Dale Carnegie. And when he died, there was probably 30 people, 40 people at his house. I'm just going by the autobiography. And they were all ready to write down his last, kudos or whatever he had to say. And he said, Rosebud. And they couldn't figure out what that was. And years later, when they were cleaning out one of his main houses, down the basement, there was an old sled. And guess what name was on that old sled? The old sled that for those of you that on the East Coast, but we used to have like sleds you would just go on as a kid. When it was snow, you'd slide down the hill. Well, his toboggan was named Rosebud. So here, this guy who was worth, several $1 billion back in, 60s, he thought about his childhood, having fun. So, that I think about that keeps me in perspective. I spent the day with my daughter at the Long Beach Aquarium. Could I have been working, doing other things? Yeah, but I mean, hopefully that's going to make a difference in her life. So think about those things and realize that your health is important. There's other people that care about you other than yourself. And, if you have family or you're married, if you want to, thanks for inviting your followers. If you want to step to an unhealthy lifestyle, that's really not fair to your wife or your daughter or your family, because they're going to have to deal with you, and you're going to turn into an anchor, basically. You need to look at it that way. If your health is bad and you say, well, it's my life. Well, no. Once you marry someone and have a child, it's no longer just your life. You're responsible. And for years, I was mad at my father because I knew he could have done a lot more to help himself, but he didn't. And maybe that's a bad way to think of it, but it really supremely motivates me. So when someone says, I have this, there's nothing I can do, don't buy that. Thank you. Thank you. Sore hips after playing hockey. Any stretches you would suggest? Yeah, if you have sore hips, Dave, the doctor at Good Life, he's a big hockey player. Your dad's urologist, great. If your hips are sore inside the joint, stretching may give you a little value. Have you ever performed kettlebell swings in your workouts? No, I think they're very traumatic. Yeah, I don't even pick up dumbbells anymore. Do you have any take on the MCAT? Study. study about 6 months out and get a mentor. I had a mentor for organic chemistry. I had a mentor for calculus. I struggled in those subjects. And we'll all have areas that we struggle in. Find a mentor, and sometimes they'll teach you something. Eventually, it'll just snap and you'll get it. And I've had experiences like that where I worked on something, and finally it just opens up. Any good supplements? Yeah, this is a good one. Release growth hormone. This is the key. 1 scoop a night in water. It tastes like Kool-Aid. And I've taken L-arginine by itself before, and I guarantee you will not be able to keep it down. Do you ever have any knowledge of Fisher Investments over in Cali? Fisher Investments, I don't. Yeah, I think $1 Million Mindset is on my scope. He's probably the one that asked for that. What are your thoughts on religion? Be kind. You know, I think Gandhi said it best. He said, I'm a Jew, I'm a Gentile, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim. He's like everything. So just be kind, and you'd be surprised what you would move. I find it ironic that some of these most devout religious people are also some that appear to be more very extreme. I'm not extreme in anything that I do in my life. Does it help on soreness and faster recovery? Absolutely. If you can get your growth hormone up, especially if you start getting over the age of 25, 30, when it starts slowing down, it's a key product. I dropped 5% body fat in 12 weeks, and this is all I did. And I don't tout very many products. And I've got, well, I don't anymore because I threw a lot of them away, but I used to take tons of stuff. I still probably do 2 or 3 samples of things a month to try them out. But there are a couple. MCT oil, L-carnitine liquid I take. But this one for growth hormone is phenomenal. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on my scope tonight. Hope I was helpful. For you replay viewers, thanks for your hearts. For you new viewers, thanks for coming on board. Do not let people who give inappropriate comments make it negative. If you try to scope and they say something, do not take it personal. It's just water off a cat's back. Just let it go. I'll talk to you guys later. My name is Dr. George Kosmides. Namaste. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you.